Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Nishi Chawla reading to you from the last segment of my 125-page long poem titled The Ganga. It's on the river Ganga that is sacred to all humans across India and across the world. The title of my final section is Musing. A bulge of blue veins that converge amid the bulked folds of the mountains. Feel the human heat escape. An icy grip invades the body, turned in scar knots. Those glaciers lying upstream collapse. Within your waters, a bottom where you roll over with a goddess in all her fury, and the ripples she makes all over crush yourself as if in a stampede. Brown waters tumble over each other, wound, weave, the sounds you make, tap, thud, tapping, into a violent torrent, like shadows falling on an armless sleeve, disarranged whirlpools, rehearsed rapids, then slow again, smooth as death. Pass and repass, arrange yourself nonchalantly. Along pyres that burn with a consequential look, divide life from death like slats, fire that consumes flesh, blooming life upside down. Then you carry the charred remains, absorb those physical hits in soiled swellings, not unexpectedly become part and parcel of an eternal current. Link births like bandages, a cloud bank of renewals. Kneeling over flowers that drop, dawdle in businesslike indolence, caught in memory's arc, then favor the rising currents, rush in, caught. In its fatal plunge, disappear forever, like the footbridges spanning you. Rusty cables hold your might between Rishikesh and Devaprayag, pinched, squeezed tight between rocks that rise like you. They watch the drama of foam and spray, a churning, wandering cataract, jipping a walk in the woods, the trees blowing in the breeze, music to the withered soul, like a staircase of velvet green, stretched. As ox plow the terraced fields by your side, your small waves reach out, then you sleep silent, unaware, so beautifully put away, with gentle calm caressing, your eyes sealed tight against a world that races toward the worn steps that meet you, terrified. Sometimes, only so, you would covert the speckled weeds climbing out of gaps in those ancient steps, flies buzzing in time-killing ways. You depart like herbs and flowers, and yet you return, a Sanjeevani booty. For some, there are only departures. For others, there are only returns. As an observer at certain hours, no need to be careful, no need to be quiet at certain places. Try as you will, there is a hint of something rare. You cannot reach her here, something unmistakable about you, intent to stay locked up like a human palm, like human veins. In your secret box of dreams, noble, magnificent as reality that hurts and harms, there are too many limits. Though here you are safe, compact, your skin surface seems wrinkled, shattered into sparkling glints, like floating leaves, the air above you, diaphanous in unpaired collisions, to fall from grace, to absolutely lose herself in image and after image. For now she remains a world apart, and now you sleep silent, an unseen force in the reflection of box-like houses, a light, a buzzing, a flowing, a brown dust floating. the air above you, alone, stranded. Make her move through the silence of silent voices. Soothe her inside, against houses clamped, against houses clumped and bound and unbound intervals. The winding alleys seem like distant chains, houses, hovels crumbling, one upon another, crooked streets over flat stones. The stained lampposts sulking, turning in on itself, burnt in its own flames, recreating into its own power, like the sprawling wave. And yet you remain unchanged as you appear an offering, a whole where you are a part, turning on the light, as no memory is lost with you, the dead and the unborn between the trap and the release, a narrow passage between birth and death, cold and hungry looking. You flow between, calm as the motion of celestial bodies, faithful, blue-veined mapping of our hearts, transfiguring. Feel the music swirl within you, become crystalline, transparent as you, then sink into an opaqueness as if something gnaws at you. You measure the tilt, a faded photograph in which nothing changes, frozen landscape of our deeds, only the sound of your water continuing. Within you and the endless pursuits of veils wailing, clashes, estrangements, like the still heart of stones, misunderstandings, siren song like pretensions, a carousel that stops, then drowns within you. You roll into an anteroom, banish within you phantom desires. You burn shadows as you connect one with oneself, an imaginary self, a higher light, a spinning coin with no trace of a pattern. All ingredients within you forming measured, disconnected sounds, wider than the murmuring sky, deeper than the loud ocean. Your waves, notwithstanding, the rest is silent. Measured, disconnected sounds, your hair green with seaweed, spurting, splashing, not taste like ordinary waves, not taste like ordinary water. You give an imagined perspective on the rise and fall of your breath. But what shall we imagine it with? Are you the river of dreams alone? Is the thread of your slithery movement like moonglow, like the thread of a discourse? Words drowned, spilled out, naked. Are the streets wound around the towns, waiting for you? Are the towns wound around you, waiting for you? As the sound of waves glisten, as the sponges suds wrecked at the thread of leaves at the bottom, negotiate on a slick track, a chaste desire rising, voluptuous spaces within you and your past, slipping into your thoughts, where memories flow, soak them up. Like wings of light through a sponge, the indistinguishable voices contain them within. Lest they expand, whiffs of air, like the cover of books, you exist where we see you, bursting with meditation. A joyous grape, for the rest is redundant, defy questions. You collect dead branches, disrupt the disguises, as if to burden yourself with the past. Recover the future for us, a tiny hole, through which nostalgia grips you, its spittle of sluggish, tense. You move only by the lapping wave, fairy brown butter, glint, driven by what is left of you, when all desire is erased within. Or do you erase desire? Hyped like honey, snuggled in below? What would you imagine from it? in the dappled sunlight. If we cannot see it, not things, but images of things, a cliche, almost. Your gaze stares as on a written page. You say everything that we think, shard, sharp words, or a sign as of other things, other words. You repeat our words. You let your arms grope where we contain or conceal whatever you contain. You conceal point by point. You shift the dull shine in those grains of sand, those that broadside you. You invert and replace all the time, like the mind's phantasms. Within them, you stay armed, the same always, a honeycomb where the human and the animal, the vegetal and the mineral stay locked. Between each point of view, dream filled and coiled wildly, hiding truths even from the crest of your waves, you become the eternal. You bring it into clarity, you splash it into light, whisper part of the whole truth, soothe us with vibration of happy recognitions. Then you plunge in, dagger like, become a white porcelain heap, milk spouting tempestuous pores of homecoming with other rivers. You make us smell the eternal. You make us look upon with dull disregard eternity's shining light. Ponder, then wrestle with ourselves. In the composing rooms of our minds, writing in knotted helix, like the collision of your waters, carry the weight of large mountains, transfer us to a translucent sphere as you clash with other waters. Reckon with guilt and innocence, or their understood terms, into the sea of creative response, merge with mystery schools. Channel off a rivulet into your own dreamscapes. Spread yourself and let roost. If meaning means a distance, you would be so sweetened with divinity against the spokes of the monsoon clouds. As they unfold, the dark doors of drama shut, for you expand into an ocean against the bruises of the falling skies. Your heavy body scratches like live wires. You paddle and you wet, else how would one explain yourself mingling into another? Wild, wild waters, wilder than the spinning wheel, your turbulence rocks like Shiva's wild locks. Wishing to raise the dead swaddled within you, the molten sky pauses with bated breath. The passerby waits intensely. An occasional bag hangs high, the high ground of life now, thunderstruck, as peacocks screech in wild fury, like yours. They crane their necks, and the world seems unmoored. It floats, and you ride wobbly along as all things wait. Suddenly, as if to distract you, birds wheel into your sight, gliding across the tops of ridges, and you learn to read your own music. Hacking the bird, a mind force, sweat hard, thinking offline, mutual replacements, an unrelenting climb, meeting death with a unique new birth. Thank you very much. This was Nishi Chawla reading from the final section of my 125-page long poem, The Ganga, that was published in 2010. Thank you.